This is my bike, and this is not my car.
And I have to trade my bike into a car by only flipping the bike.
But here's the catch. I can use none of my own money.
And all profits must come from flipping the items.
As you can see, my bike is in pretty bad shape. It's dirty all around the edges and the handlebars are ruined. One thing I also noticed when testing out the bike is that the brakes don't work at all. So I'm going to need to get them fixed. So to start, I got some antibacterial and just kind of scrubbed the bike until it looked clean enough to take pictures and just look presentable, and it turned out pretty well. As you can see, just cleaning it made a huge difference of the overall presentation. I then tried to see if the bike was even working, and the brakes don't work. For day 2, I just repeated the process and kind of scrubbed down the bike until it was clean again. The next step, I kind of had to fix the brake, which means I had to adjust the bike screw. And you can kind of tell when it's broken because one handle will go down further than the other. I then brought my bike to this park because there was more space, which means I can use some WD-40 to kind of get rid of the rust and make sure the brake sound doesn't make an annoying sound. As you can see, just fixing these brake wires made it go down a lot less, which basically means the brake will be a lot more tight. I also noticed the bolts were a lot more rusty now, and I needed to fix that. So all I did was use WD-40 and sprayed it on there, and then after a few days it should just clean up, and then you can adjust it. I then cleaned the seat and then just kind of cleaned up the entire bike just so it looks presentable to take some photos. And now we're pretty much done. The bike looks great and presentable, so I can take photos and now upload it to Facebook. Now, one of the most important parts of uploading bikes to Facebook is the photos. They're really underrated and they kind of just boost the listing a lot more than you think, and you can get it sold in within a day. I made sure to get a few just so I know they looked good and presentable. Then I uploaded it as a cool bike and I set it to £40, which I think is a reasonable price. I then just finished off by tightening these bolts so the handlebars are a lot more clean and easier to use. It's the small details like this that make such a big difference when selling a bike and just makes it more worth it for the customer. As you can see here, just lifting up all the dirt underneath the handlebar was crazy. I'm glad I did this step, it just made it a lot better. Good news, we've already sold the bike and we've already got £35. I did sell it for 40, but they offered 35 and I was just trying to get rid of it. Second of all, I was trying to find a new bike, so I just asked my brother if he has a bike in his shed, and he actually did, gave it to me for only £10. I did offer him a lot more, but this is great for our challenge and we already have a £25 profit. But I have £35 cash. So this is what the bike looked like when I bought it. It wasn't in as bad shape as the other bike, but still it had a few spider webs on it and it was just rusty and dirty overall, as it's been sitting there for a good few years. The brakes did work, I believe, but the tyres were all messed up and they were not pumped. To clean this bike up, it's pretty much the same process as the other bike. Just get some WD-40, a pump and a brush and some antibacterial. And make sure it's one you don't want to use anymore. I've just kind of sprayed the entire bike in with antibacterial, which just kind of cleans up the bikes and gives it that shiny look, but also doesn't damage any gears or anything. I then just gives it a scrub with this random brush I found. This just removes all the cobwebs, the leaves, any dirt that was lying on it before, given it was there for years. I then just got the wheels done because those make a huge difference if they're wet and clean. And then already it looks a lot better and way more presentable than it did before, and it looks ready to sell now. And the tyres were pumped up really badly. The next day I then looked at it again and it's already grown cobwebs overnight. As you can see on the seat and everything, it's all messed up. So I got my pump, other pump I have, which is more professional, and then I did that, and as you can see here, the tyres are completely messed up, and already you can see them improving just from that pump. As you can see, the brakes do work and it doesn't actually make a sound like the other bike I had before, and both of them work, which is already improvement. Again, the number one important thing when selling the bike is the photos. People really underestimate this and it can really boost your listing more than you think. I make sure I get professional photos and go to different backdrops. As you can see here, I went to a different backdrop. And just like that, I'm ready to sell the bike within one day because this one was fairly easy and it was quite cheap. I uploaded the best photos I did after I edited them and just called it a bike with its brand name. Okay guys, thank you for watching. That's the end of the video. Already made £35 profit. We will have £100 after we've sold that bike and be on to our third bike. This challenge has already gone better than I expected. We've already sold almost 2 bikes and already made profit, which is a lot better than I thought it would be. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.